Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Larry Larson.
And I'm Hernán Gutierrez. Let's take a look at the news. Last Saturday, before tailgating and the big game, the Markin Rec Center hosted the Bradley Fest. Even with the threat of rain, Kona Ice was still serving up snow cones just outside Markin. Kona provided a wide variety of flavors to mix and match. Inside the fest, there were games like putting, target soccer, and bagos. Kids and students alike had their face painted by the Zoo Lady. Along with a photo backdrop to capture the day, there was popcorn and a cookie decorating station.
Last week, Dr. Adrian Shaw visited Bradley to talk about the LGBTQ representation in the gaming world and also its lack of representation. Here's Ashley Lesson to tell you more about it.
Dr. Adrian Shaw is a game studies scholar and associate professor at Temple University. Her work focuses mainly on queer theory and representation of the LGBTQ community in video games. She is also the founder of the LGBTQ Video Game Archive.
It's an ongoing database documenting all LGBTQ content in video games dating back to the 1970s at this point. We try to be all-inclusive, including all games from all eras, all countries, and all platforms, regardless of whether it was a mainstream production or more independent production. So I've always been interested in LGBTQ representation in media more generally. It just hadn't been something that was particularly documented in video games specifically. It was an area in which I'd always had to create a list anytime I was working on a project, so I thought it was important to create an ongoing documented list of LGBTQ content for other researchers.
While it's important to Dr. Shaw that she documents this for herself and other researchers, it was also important to her that all forms of media had representation, video games just being one of the few.
I think all forms of representation are sort of demonstration of different ways of being in the world, and video games are just one of many other cultural products that should represent a wider array of people. I think video games are just one example of where LGBTQ people should be included because they exist in the world.
For BUTV News, I'm Ashley Lesson.
The Horowitz Auditorium hosted Haphazard Press as their Visual Voices speaker this past Thursday, a company where two random work friends changed the face of illustrative pressing today.
Christopher Gray and Joel Hunter became friends through work and began realizing that they both share a similar dream. With Gray having experience in printing and Hunter's experience in illustration, Haphazard Press was born. With their unique designs, Haphazard Press had no problem starting off. They began working with local bands. Here's Gary with more on that topic.
There are shows or there are tours where the band is trying to convey like a certain theme, or they're really trying to promote like a new album or something. I would say a majority of the time, though, fairly unsolicited. I mean, they'll come to us and just say, more or less, hey, we really like this thing you did for somebody else. That was a cool idea. Do you think you could do something similar?
One of their most recognizable projects is their updated version of the 1988 IT poster. From there, Haphazard Press projects have been seen all over the country. Hunter makes it clear that you can pursue your dreams anywhere.
People can do cool stuff like this here. Once you're graduating and doing something with your degree, you don't need to travel or move away to California or something like that necessarily, and you can bring those aspects here and do something cool with it here.
Haphazard Press is based in Bloomington, Illinois, but you can still see them online. Feel free to visit them or contact them through their website. For BUTV News, I'm Josie Marin.
Last week at Westlake Hall, the Bradley University eSports team had its first big event on campus this semester, inviting people to play video games with each other and talk about everything going on in the eSports world. Here's Ashley Lesson to give you all the information on the event.
Last week, I went to Westlake Hall to check out Bradley's first esporting event of the semester to learn more about what esports were and its similarities and differences to traditional sports.
So esports is simply how I like to put it as just competitive video games and the community and just culture around it. Essentially, anything that's a video game and competitively, or it's the general community around it, it's esports. Esports consists of different esports like Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League, and then traditional sports consist of tennis, soccer, basketball.
Our expo is aimed to make sure that as many people as possible can know about us. Our committee is aimed to make sure that a lot of people, as many leaders can reach to us and create their own communities. Unfortunately, right now, we're only starting up. A lot of people don't know about us. but they can start their own communities, their own clubs, they can go to competitive level. We will help them out.
Unfortunately today, there are still a lot of negative stigmas surrounding video game culture, but the expo aims to bring people together to create a community of people who are interested in the same things.
I'm really just most excited just to see people learn, because unfortunately esports is one of those things where it falls into stigmas, stereotypes, just due to the fact that, it does have some negative vibes. But one thing that I really advocate for and love is just have in-person meetings. We know that a lot of what we do on a medium can be through online, and so you can fall into the habit of just like sitting in your room alone doing that. When people are brought together and see that there's a human behind that computer, people start to act more like humans.
Our league is really big, and we are really excited to bring more members, more diversity into this growing and really thriving community. We are really excited to bring all of those communities up and get people interested in it. We are a really young community, but we're aiming high.
For BUTV News, I'm Ashley Lesson.
It's cooling down, Braves, wondering what the weather is going to be like for fall break.
And the latest in entertainment news.
Nicole Pfaff has the weekly weather update, and Jonathan Michael has your entertainment coming up after the break.
All right, how about you keep your eye on the ball next time?
Wasn't my fault.
I'll get it.
Ooh, a butterfly.
It's so bad my coach quit.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Well, Nicole, a few days ago it got really cool, started to feel like fall. Now we're back in the 70s. Is it going to feel like fall for fall break?
Well, Larry, it is, and the temperatures are going to be a little bit fluctuating, but let's go ahead and take a look at that. As fall break is coming up, so is some rain. As we can see here in the blue and here in the green over here, there's a bit of rain coming over towards the east and towards the central Illinois area from the west. Within the next 24, 48 hours, you will see this all right here up here in Peoria. But it should clear out. As we see, we've got a little bit of clouds hiding behind, but it should clear out by the weekend. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current temperatures. As you see, we're still in those 70s, but that should definitely cool down, especially up here in the north. We're seeing a bit of the high 60s. Unfortunately, the south is seeing a little bit of summer weather still, but hopefully within the next few weeks, they'll start seeing the fall weather that we're seeing. And on to our 5-day forecast. As mentioned before, we're going to be seeing a little bit of rain tomorrow and Friday, but it'll definitely cool down on Saturday. We'll be seeing a low 50s, but it should definitely cool or heat up as the rest of the week begins. The evenings will be a lot cooler, dropping about 10 to 20 degrees. As we see on Friday, we'll be experiencing a bit of 30-degree weather. But hopefully that will definitely warm up a little bit as the week goes on. Now it's time for your entertainment news with Jonathan Michael.
First at 2, Now the Joker is the latest clown-themed movie to hit the box office. Released on Friday, the film already broke a record for most successful October release. A winner at the Venice Film Festival, The Joker stars Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker as well as Robert De Niro. Viewers may not be getting what they expect from a movie seemingly about a comic book clown. The movie has an underlying theme about mental illness and how it can affect people. The Joker mirrors ancient Greek theater by featuring comedy and tragedy, which many critics have acclaimed. Others are not so sure about the movie, saying that the Joker's character and his decision-making could cause real-world violence. Some theaters received violent threats for the movie's screening, but so far there have been no reported incidents. Apple is making noise this fall, first releasing the new iPhone and now releasing Mac OS Catalina. Perhaps the most notable change is the removal of iTunes. Apple made this move to declutter iTunes and divided its contents into the music, TV, podcasts, and books apps. Users should have no reason to fret, as all of their purchases will remain intact. One other feature worth noting is Sidecar, which can mirror an iPad screen on a Mac. Catalina also allows voice control, Find My Friends, and automatic album making in Photos. Announced on The Ellen Show on Monday, Nick Jonas will be taking on The Voice this upcoming season as a coach, replacing the spot held by Gwen Stefani. Jonas will become a part of the show's 18th season. The announcement brought along some playful trash talk from none other than Blake Shelton, who asked if Jonas was even old enough to coach on the show. The other judges, former American Idol winner Kelly Clarkson and soul singer John Legend, are determined to overtake Shelton and his classic antics. You can catch Jonas and the other coaches duking it out to recruit the top singers next spring.
Jonathan, you sound pretty excited about that Voice news. You a big Voice guy?
A little bit, I guess. So I'm not good enough to be on there, though. I wish.
I'd love to hear you sing sometime. Missed out on Homecoming last week? Have no fear. Deanna Cantu shows us the highlights of Homecoming.
And our live interview with Larry and our special guest. All this after the break.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
About inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
On Friday, the Alumni Association and Activities Council of Bradley University hosted the lighting of the bee on the Olin Quad. The night was filled with dancers, fireworks, raffles, and the crowning for this year's homecoming court.
Ever since 1928, the ceremonial lighting of the bee has become a homecoming tradition at Bradley. Last Friday featured everything from dance competitions to Chicago-style hot dogs to long lines for free t-shirts, all in hopes of welcoming the fall semester with a dash of campus pride.
So Lighting the Bee started 91 years ago now. It's come a long way. It's supposed to symbolize the start of homecoming week. We've transferred it over back to a Friday because we wanted to encourage more young alum to get back. But this year, what Morgan Dunham and I, my co-coordinator, have really been pushing to do is get the community more involved and have more alumni get involved also.
Such alumni included Ben Carter and Stephanie McGlaris from class of 2018, who enjoyed both the fireworks and a chance to revisit their college days.
Oh, it's been awesome. I've really been enjoying everything that Bradley's had to offer so far. Honestly, it's really fantastic.
It's been really good. I really like all the little Lydias around the campus. I've seen them. I've only been here for a day so far, but we came for Lighting of the Bee, so I'm really excited.
Before the bee was lit, visitors immersed themselves in obstacle courses, free food, and modern music. However, some students appreciate homecoming week for not only its exciting atmosphere, but also an opportunity for photogenic moments.
I got to say, it's probably all like the opportunities for cool pictures and stuff. For example, this, with the fireworks at the end makes for awesome. The stuff that is happening on stage and everything going on all around us. I mean, Bradley can be kind of boring, so just having like all this stuff to do all week and take pictures of is kind of cool.
Later in the evening, MCs Charlie Barchett and Jamal Stevenson announced this year's homecoming king and queen, which went to seniors Nico Mendoza and Alexis Petrella.
Honestly, the Lighting of the Bee so far today, there's been so many events, so many more things that we've had in the past that it's that much more exciting, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
It feels so awesome. It's such a good feeling to be able to represent Bradley University because it's my home, so very exciting.
Then at 8:45 p.m., the bee was lit. With a slight 40-second delay. Thankfully, the technical difficulties were eventually worked out, and everyone finally got to see the ceremonial highlight of the night. Reporting for BUTV News, I'm Deanna Cantu.
Now it's time for our live interview with Larry Larson.
Thanks, Hernan. Jacelyn Jackson is a student here at Bradley University and a member of Sigma Gamma Rho. She's here to talk to us about her organization and how other Bradley students can support her organization. Jacelyn, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So first question, for those who don't know, what is Sigma Gamma Rho?
Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated is a sorority that was founded by 7 school teachers on the campus of Butler University in Indianapolis, Indiana on November 12, 1922. We are a member of the National Pan-Hellenic Council, which you may also hear be referred to as the Divine Nine historically black Greek letter organizations, and we are the only one in the council that was founded at a predominantly white institution. This sorority was brought to Bradley's campus on 1974 by 5 magnificent ladies, and our motto is greater service, greater progress.
Rich history. And now, what is your position here at Bradley?
In Sigma Gamma Rho?
Yes.
I am the historian of the chapter.
Oh, wow. So there you go. Good person to ask about it. So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and for this, Sigma Gamma Rho will be hosting an event next week. Can you tell us a little bit more about that event?
We will be hosting a bra pong game in the Student Center atrium. So if you are unfamiliar with bra pong, it's similar to the cup pong game in the iMessage. We will have a board of hung up bras that each have different breast cancer facts in the cups, and you will have a provided amount of ping pong balls to get into the cups and read about those facts.
Well, that's certainly unique. I'm not sure I've ever heard of that before. And now, why is this cause in particular important to Sigma Gamma Rho?
People are unaware that breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancerous death in American women. In particular, this took the life of one of our sorority members, Ms. Hattie McDaniel. You may have heard her for her importance as the first black entertainer to earn an Oscar for her role in the movie Gone with the Wind. So Sigma Gamma Rho has a foundation in her honor and memory, the Hattie McDaniel Cancer and Health Program, that pretty much promotes the health and education for early detection of different types of cancers.
All right, and if somebody wants to donate to the cause, how do they go about that?
You can come and play the game in the Student Center atrium for 50 cents per round. We will also have a donation jar available if you'd like to provide monetary donations.
All right, and that about wraps it up. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Again, remind us when that event is.
October 16th, which is a week from today, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Student Center atrium.
And again, all donations will be accepted and proceeds will go to the National Breast Cancer Foundation. So, Jacelyn, thank you for joining us.
Thank you again for having me.
Hernan, back to you.
Thank you, Larry. On Saturday, the Activities Council of Bradley University hosted the first ever homecoming parade since 2003. Several students and faculty came out to celebrate the historic event, which started at the Olin Quad and ended on Fredonia Avenue.
After a brief hiatus, the Bradley Parade came back for 2019's Homecoming Week. 47 organizations participated in this year's parade, which featured every float from Student Senate to the Homecoming King and Queen.
Yeah, we just have like all these different organizations that are really excited. We have Cheer and Vitality and Bravette, so we have some dance performances going on. We have Greek Life, we have Elevates coming. We'll have our President Gary Roberts leading, or he'll be in there, so he's kind of like our parade marshal.
And while this was President Gary Roberts' only homecoming parade before his retirement next May, he still enjoyed getting the opportunity to spend time with students on a sunny Saturday.
Well, every year it's great. It's just a lot of fun. Volleyball team won last night, and hopefully the soccer team will win tonight. And everybody seems to be having a good time, so that's why I like to be on a college campus.
Speaking of college campuses, Greek Life had quite the turnout at this year's parade, including Pi Kappa Alpha, who went with a magic school bus theme, as well as Alpha Pi Omega, who brought out the balloons. As for Bradley sororities, Sigma Delta Tau decided on a fun astrology float.
Anastasia, who is our driver, she actually took a lot of hours trying to do it, and also Leah, and then a lot of girls in our sorority, and we also bonded in this experience, and so yeah.
The parade camaraderie could also be felt amongst Bradley alumni, like Ben Carter, who came back to celebrate the weekend with some old friends.
I thought it was awesome. It was really cool to see all the representation and all the different clubs and fraternities out here just with their own floats.
For more information on last week's homecoming parade and future events, go to acbu.org or call 309-677-3050. Reporting for BUTV News, I'm Deanna Cantu.
How did the Braves play in our homecoming game?
Find out when we come back. Stay tuned.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
So Cody, on Saturday, Bradley Soccer hosted the homecoming game, but tonight I've heard they've got a pretty big game against nationally ranked Missouri State.
That they do. Unfortunately, we won't exactly know how they're doing at the time of this taping, but we're rooting them on, and let's get to recapping some HOCO events. The Bradley Braves men's soccer team hosted the Drake Bulldogs last Saturday for the homecoming soccer game at Shea Stadium, and the Shea Brigade and Red Sea were rocking to support the Braves to a win. The Braves opened up the game very aggressive with many opportunities to score, early shattering the backline defense of Drake with the help of John Palafrone and Garrett Vintermeyer. The Braves' very own Roman Schindler would score the only goal of the game with the help from a Drake defender off an own goal. This lapse from Drake would prove to be too much for the Bulldogs as they fall to Bradley 1-0. This improved the Braves' record to 3 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties on the season, good enough for second place tie in the conference. The women's volleyball team also had action during HOCO week as they hosted our rivals from down I-74 in the Illinois State Redbirds. ISU came into the game with a 9-6 record. ISU and Bradley would trade wins in the opening sets until Bradley took the third set 26-24. Illinois State would not go quietly into the Peoria night, however, aided with a vicious run in the fourth set, taking it 25-11. With the match on the line, it would be then 1-15 in the final set of the night, and Bradley would prevail 15-10 and take the match 3-2. Bradley's next action is set for October 11th as they travel to Cedar Rapids to take on the Panthers of UNI. And now to some very exciting news from the softball program. It was announced earlier this week with head coach Amy Hayes receiving and signing a new contract extension to stay the head coach of the Bradley softball team, as well as being the all-time wins leader at Bradley. She led the Braves to a record of 29-21 last year, their best mark since 2004. The Braves softball team is slated to begin playing February against New Mexico State. How about some news about the Hilltop Trop? Soccer, volleyball, and softball weren't the only sports events happening last weekend. The Hilltop Trop 5K race also kicked off last Saturday. Here's Nate Martin with the scoop.
The 7th annual Hilltop Trot saw dozens of Bradley students and many local runners from the Peoria area compete in a 5K race or simply enjoy a 1-mile walk. Runners were able to have their pace and time tracked thanks to Shazam Racing. Freshman Patrick Mankey was the overall winner in the race with a time of 17:54, and Josh Schwam came in second with a time of 18:27.
I was happy. It's a fun course. It's a great race and a great atmosphere here, and a lot of turns, but it's always a good time. And so Bradley puts on awesome 5Ks, all the departments to do their stuff, so it's a lot of fun.
Part of the proceeds from the event helps sponsor Bradley's physical therapy program, who helped assist in planning the event.
Part of the funds usually go towards sending us to conferences and helping fund our education. So it's something that is kind of a way to help give back to the Doctorate of Physical Therapy program at Bradley University.
Overall, it was a great day for running and enjoying the fall weather.
I think it's a really cool way just for like people on campus, especially during this homecoming weekend, to experience something like maybe a little more competitive, or whether you're taking it a little more casually. It's really cool to be able to do something that promotes the health of the students here, the faculty here, because that's what we're all about with physical therapy, is helping promote health.
To learn more about local Peoria 5Ks and running events, visit ShazamRacing.com. For BUTV News, I'm Nate Martin.
So we had a lot going on this weekend, but glad to pull away with 2 W's, right?
It's always a good day when the Braves can take down Illinois State along with some other competition.
Exactly. Stick around to hear a musical performance from our musical guest.
Don't click away. We'll be back shortly.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
With fall break almost here, we don't have a lot of events happening on the hilltop, but there's still a few. Let's take a look. Tomorrow, the Bradley Corral is holding a talent show. The night will be full of laughter and amazement, perhaps even balloon animals. Admission is $5, and all the proceeds will go to the Corral's upcoming tour in Prague in the summer of 2020. Join the Bradley Corral in the Dingledine Music Center Thursday, October 10th at 7 p.m. It's fall break, Bradley, which means a longer weekend and sleeping in. Fall break starts Saturday and ends Tuesday, with classes resuming on Wednesday. Even better, BUTV News will still air next Wednesday, so be sure to tune in. For those staying on campus, dining services will have limited hours, so make sure to keep note of all operating hours. Next Tuesday, October 15th, the International Affairs Organization will be holding their next meeting in Bradley Hall 250 at 8:30 to 9 p.m. Perfect for those who want their voice heard about international issues on Bradley's campus.
Well, that's it for BUTV News this week. I'm Hernan Gutierrez.
I'm Cody Roskins.
I'm Jonathan Michael.
I'm Nicole Pfaff.
And I'm Larry Larson. We leave you tonight with a performance from Adriana Dunn. Have a great evening.
Staring in your eyes every night, but I can't seem to find you. It is hard to realize that all we had's not there anymore. All the ghosts from our past are haunting us, and I don't know how to escape from this mess with you. We were dancing in the dark under the moonlight, to the beat of our emotions disappearing. I am not afraid to say I miss myself, 'cause with you a part of me run away. It's all gone, isn't it? All the fights we ever had, they are gone just like you are. Our demons took over all the feelings we ever had, 'cause we were chasing the shadows of forgiveness.